Today, I'm gonna show you guys how to build a charging station wall for your studio, like the one you see behind me. But before we begin, I do wanna thank our video sponsor, Storyblocks, but more on them a little bit later. Now, the idea behind this charging station is so that you can quickly and efficiently charge all of the batteries from your camera, drone, gimbal, or other filmmaking accessories that you might have. And because it's also modular, you can use it in other ways, which I'll demonstrate how I have mine set up. The pegboard wall that I'll be using is from a company called Wall Control. You can pick it up from Amazon, but don't worry, I'm gonna leave links to everything I talk about this build in the description down below. Now, the wall itself is made out of metal and it comes in various colors. I bought mine in black because I personally like the stealth look. Now, you can buy the wall by itself or you can also get it as a kit. I went with the kit version because I was going to use most of those accessories anyway. In addition, you'll also need to buy a power strip, some heavy duty Velcro, and some standoff mounts so that we can push the pegboard away from the wall. You're gonna need that extra space in the back for your cable management and that additional power strip. Now, I wanna say that I actually made many mistakes and I ended up doing this project twice. Once with my buddy Sam, which he was a huge help and I appreciate his insight, but I wasn't happy. Now, I want to clarify that it wasn't his fault. It was just certain materials that we had bought. For example, like the standoff mounts were initially made out of like this chrome stainless and I didn't like that. I ended up going with black. Also the process, it just took a little bit longer. But anyway, I'm just trying to tell you that you don't have to make those same mistakes because I'm going to show you the preferred method and the way that I would recommend, which is basically how I have it now. So the first thing I'd recommend you do is figure out where you want your charging station to be so that you can drill out all your holes and then install these standoff mounts onto the wall. The reason I recommend you do this first is because there's nothing attached to the pegboard. It's lightweight and it's easier to hold into place. Now, you can also preliminary mount it to make sure that everything lines up straight. Now, I did go overkill on the bolts and went with titanium. You don't have to do this. I personally think it looks cool and it just gives it a premium look, but I'm gonna leave links to both of them, just like standard bolts and the titanium if you wanna spend that kind of money. So assuming you test fitted your pegboard and everything lines up good, I recommend you take it off the wall and set it on the floor. This is the time where you're gonna take all of your accessories and start kind of piecing everything out to see how you wanna lay things out. Now for me, personally, the way I like it is I have all of my chargers and anything battery related on the right side. And then on the left side, I have my bins, accessories, and other little knickknacks, which I'll show you guys in a second. Now, this is probably one of the most time-consuming parts of this project because you want to make sure that you lay everything out in a way that makes sense for you and how you think it will help streamline your process. Once you have a general idea of where you want your things to go, grab your Velcro and start attaching your chargers onto the pegboard. The reason I went with Velcro as opposed to double-sided tape, which I know a lot of people do, is because with Velcro, I can detach my chargers and take them with me on the go, as opposed to double-sided tape is more of a permanent solution. Now, this next part is very crucial and it's actually one of the reasons why I redid my setup. If you look at the pegboard, there's a lot of holes and lines that are cut throughout so that you can mount different accessories to the pegboard. Now, depending on the charger that you are using, you're either going to need to make the holes bigger or you're going to make the slits a bit wider so that you can fit the cable of your charger through it. When I initially did it, I bent the slits using a set of needle nose pliers, and then I grabbed a set of shears to cut any excess metal towards the back, and this way it allowed all of my cables to pass through without any issues. And it worked fine, but personally, I just felt like I could have done a much better job. So it's funny because I ended up going to my neighbor's house, John, who has a Dremel tool, and we ended up using that instead. So we're trying to fix up those bent and rough edges that we had, and it looks much better now. We also used a file to get rid of any sharp edges, and personally, I am much happier with the results. Now, if you want to make the holes bigger, I recommend that you use a drill bit and then just gradually increase in size. Also, when you're done with that, attach a cylinder rasp file to deburr any of the edges, and trust me, it will look and feel smooth. Now, assuming that you have all of your prep work done, it's now time to route all of the charging cables through those holes onto the back of the pegboard and then do any type of cable management. Now, this is a time where you also want to mount your power strip. I ended up using double-sided tape because it's more secure and I wasn't planning on removing it. Also, this depends on your home or studio. Depending on where your power outlet is where you want to mount your power strip. So in my case, my power outlet is located more towards the right. So it's right here, meaning that my power strip is on the right-hand side. Now, assuming that you followed all of these steps, the last thing to do is now mount the pegboard onto the wall. Now, I recommend that you at least have another person help you out because it can be a little bit heavy, and that way they can hold it onto place while you can just screw on the bolts. Now, before I show you guys my layout and some of the other tips and tricks that maybe, you might find useful, let me tell you guys about today's video sponsor, Storyblocks. If you've ever needed access to high quality video, sound effects, music, animated backgrounds, or even stock images, Storyblocks has you covered. Their website consists of over 1 million, yes, you heard that right, over 1 million royalty-free assets that you can use on all of your paid commercial projects or even your YouTube videos without having to worry about getting a copyright strike. I really enjoy Storyblocks because they have an unlimited subscription plan that allows me to download any asset that I want as many times as I want without having to worry about paying per download like other websites do. Even if you don't think you need Storyblocks, I can assure you that you will find something in there that will help elevate your production quality. Like, you see those transitions that I've used throughout this video? Yeah, those were taken from Storyblocks. So do yourself a favor and check out the link in the description to not only browse Storyblocks' impressive library of assets, but also see how affordable their unlimited subscription plan is. Now let's go ahead and check out my charging station and how I have everything laid out. So I'm gonna be recording this with my iPhone to give you guys a better POV look at my charging station wall. So we're gonna go ahead and start from the top and then work our way down, and I'll demonstrate how I have everything laid out. So up above here, you can see I have a piece of Velcro because one of my chargers is gone. So that's what I like about this setup, is that I can take things with me and then reattach them when I am done. Here's a little closer look at one of those enhanced holes, or the holes that got a little bit bigger there, very smooth. And then down here, you could see the standoff mount and also that beautiful titanium bolt, which I think looks great. And then I have a power strip here that has 3 additional power outlets. And then what I like to do is I can charge anything and mount it or put it up above here on this shelf. So this shelf is kind of dual purpose. It has my YouTube play button and it also has my YouTube counter, but I can also put things behind here as I charge them. Or in my case here, which I actually like to do with my Rode Wireless Go 2, because it also has 3 USB cables, I can run those USB cables, and then the Go 2s have these clips, which I can just clip these on right here, and it ends up working out really great. So over here I have my Sony charger for my FX3 and also Sony A1. And then I have this charger here, which charges Sony NPF and also Canon LP. All you need to do is replace, it actually just pops off, and then I can charge Sony batteries. LCD display, which looks great. As you can see, they're almost fully charged. And then over here, I also have a USB output that I can put anything here to charge. Over here I have, which I think is essential, always have AA and AAA batteries. And this is a charger that can do both, which I like because you can do all AA, all AAA, or as I'm doing now, which I'm showing you guys, I can do AA and AAA at the same time. So must have rechargeable batteries. And then this shelf here, I use it for like any drones or also a gimbal. If I want to set it here, I can charge it and just, it looks nice. I mean, this is really the spot for it. And then on this side, as I mentioned, I have the shelf for the YouTube play button and counter, but I'm also running cables. Like, remember that power strip in the back that we installed that has 3 USB cables? One of them is to power this is USB powered. And then the other 2 is to power the Aperture MC light. So if you guys were paying attention, it has this little nice glow onto the shelf, and they're bicolor. But what I really like about them is that I can take these with me on the go. So I can just, they're magnetic. So I can just detach this and then put it in the pouch, take it with me on the go, and then when I come back, I can reattach the USB Type-C, and they're automatically charging. So they're charging right now while they're being used, and then when I need to take them with me, they're 100% charged. And then you could just keep the cable up above here, and you really can't see it. And then down below that, I have all of my gaff tape that I use here in the studio. Again, you can lay this out however you want. I'm just showing you how I have mine laid out. I have this knife here, so when I get any packages, I can unbox them. Again, the pouches for the Aperture MC lights. Dead batteries, so all my dead batteries go here. Like for example, this one's probably needs to get charged. So we'll go ahead and put that there. And then I have my toolkit for Allen, and then also my red toolkit. And sometimes I just throw little things here. And the reason I mounted it a little higher is because I have my tool chest here with all my other stuff. So above here, I have my Anton Bauer V-mount battery setup. And then again, I just like the way this looks in the studio. Keeps everything, you know, onto the wall. It's a conversation piece. It keeps me organized. But yeah, this is it. This is what it looks like, which I am really happy with. So what do you guys think of the build? Pretty cool, right? If you guys do one for yourself, tag me. I want to check it out. You can pretty much find me everywhere at Mondo Bytes. Also, make sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on videos like this one in the future. My name is Armando. Thanks again for watching, and you will catch me in the next one. Adios.